Hi everyone, this is Carol Speaks, the State of Our World on Wednesday, May 20th, 2020. So what is the state of our world? Let's see if we can find out. Okay. Now, of course the coronavirus is still with us. It's not going anywhere. There's an item in the news that I thought is very interesting. There was a former White House butler who served 11 different presidents, and this gentleman passed away at the age of 91 after contracting the coronavirus. His name is Wilson Roosevelt Jarman. He was one of the White House's longest-serving employees, remembered fondly by former President George W. Bush and former First Lady Laura Bush in a statement they made to the news. And we see that he found out his granddaughter said that he began as a cleaner in 1957 under the Eisenhower administration, was then promoted during the Kennedy presidency. He fostered relationships at the White House that helped him advance his position. Former First Lady Jackie Kennedy promoted him to a butler because of the relationship. She was instrumental in ensuring that happened. He was a family man who appreciated service, particularly service to others. Now, he was served President Obama, of course. So it's very sad that this gentleman was lost due to the coronavirus. Perhaps if this current administration had gotten their act together and done something about the coming virus, this man would still be with us. Too bad that he's no longer with us because of the actions, possibly the actions of our current president. Now, so what are we going to do about that? The Trump administration has paid a lot more than they should have for ineffective mass cleaning machines. And these machines have a price tag, a pretty high price tag, hundreds of millions of dollars. And since they're so ineffective in cleaning masks, healthcare workers, such as nurses and doctors, are reluctant to use them. That's waste, inaction, and not giving the contract, putting out contract out to bid to see who could come up with the best mask cleaning equipment. Okay, well, that's something, that's waste, and we have to do something about that. Now, the states are experiencing a worker shortage as they try to increase contact tracing efforts, try to trace the contacts of those who have tested positive for the coronavirus. And now the CDC quietly releases detailed plan for reopening America. The Trump administration didn't want it released, and they came up with their own plan, which was very little detail. But now the detailed plan is out there, so that's good. Now, there is guidance out there on church reopenings that's been held up in dispute between the CDC and the White House. Some people in the White House and the administration think churches should be treated differently. Well, if you have a lot of people in a place, whether you call it a business office or a church, people are likely to get sick if they don't practice social distancing, if they don't wear masks, if they don't take the safety precautions necessary. So what should we do about that? We need to protect all of us, regardless of whether the institution is a commercial business or a church. Now, there is a lot of things that have been happening The Republicans are trying to create a Biden political scandal, and they're calling it oversight, hogwash. And the Republicans have issued subpoenas in the Biden probe. We'll see what happens with that. Now, we really need to make sure that we do what's right for all of us. Now, but we can't use the coronavirus as a way to advance someone's political position. So that is definitely not the way to go. There's the White House is saying that China's lack of transparency is a threat to U.S. interests. Now, I don't know. I think the virus, if it's okay, if it originated in China and then somehow it got out because they didn't take proper precautions, that's bad. But once it was known to have occurred, once it was in China and then leaving China, countries around the world knew it was there. So it's their responsibility to protect their citizens and make sure that it didn't get to their country, and to protect the citizens of their country through all kinds of methods like lockdowns, self-quarantining, masks, all kinds of stuff. But that we know that didn't happen. We can't blame China for everything. We have a administration that doesn't seem to care about anything except themselves. So we have to protect everyone. The virus is here. We need to get everybody tested, and if they test positive for the virus, trace their contacts. And then those contacts trace positive for the virus, trace their contacts, and so on. And also treat whoever tests positive for the virus and have them quarantine, shelter in place, at home, etc. Now, various states are opening up for business, and they're doing this in different ways. Parts of states, all states, etc. It depends on the state, and that is very tricky, because if you do not do this right, if you do not first make sure you know who has the virus and trace their contacts, then the virus is likely to come back in a bigger way, and causing more need for quarantining, shelter in place, all kinds of stuff, and continue to disrupt businesses because we have to protect people. So you have to do this right, otherwise it's not going to work. And you have to protect vulnerable populations such as farm workers, veterans in veterans' homes, people in nursing homes, people in assisted living homes, people in retirement homes, frontline workers who have to deal with this because they don't know who they're coming in contact with. If they're a healthcare worker, if they're a mail carrier, if they're a grocery store worker, if they're a truck driver, there are all kinds of possibilities. So we have to protect them with personal protective equipment, and we have to make sure the hospitals are well equipped with all the things they need for taking care of people who may get the virus. So you can't just open up because you want to. Now, there are some other things that have been happening kind of under the radar. There is definitely a problem with immigration that's been happening under the radar, and normally, in normal circumstances, people come here to seek asylum if they are in a country where people are treated terribly. There's a lot of violence against people. So immigration is seeking asylum and hoping to immigrate is a way these people have to possibly get a better place to, better life for you and your family. So, but now what they're doing, this administration is really cutting back on asylum seekers. They're putting in detention right away minors, children, and then deporting them quietly without giving them a chance to contact any family members they may have here. Very dangerous to send young children out in the world by themselves. But for some reason, this administration, President Trump and his people and his special advisor on immigration, Stephen Miller, they really don't like immigrants, even though they are the children of immigrants who came here seeking a better life. So that's very bad, but this is happening, and it's being done under the radar because everyone's concentrating on the virus. Now, as far as the who's being affected by the virus, we don't really know what the numbers are, what the real numbers are, even in our own country, in the U.S. Supposedly, Brazil has the world's fastest spreading virus outbreak. Officials fear that their healthcare system may not be enough. Officials in Brazil fear that their health system could collapse within weeks because of the fastest spreading coronavirus outbreak that they have in the world right now. And the current leader of Brazil, I think his name is Bolsonaro, he does not believe the virus is real. He thinks it's a hoax. He doesn't want to do anything. He acts like Trump. So that's what happens when you don't put in the proper precautions to take care of your citizens. The virus comes and does its damage. It's a quiet killer. It doesn't discriminate based on gender or race or religion or anything. It just comes in and it does its work. So that is not the way to go. But it seems like Trump and people and leaders like him around the world, they don't want to do anything. They just want to make money for themselves. Now, so what can we do to make this better? Well, we have an election coming up in 2020, and there is a effort to have everyone vote by mail. Everyone in the country gets a ballot to fill out in the mail and send back into the local voting office. And that is the way to go to keep everybody safe. You remember during the primaries, Wisconsin refused to delay the primary and allow everybody to have a mail-in ballot. As a result of people were standing in long lines, some got sick as a result, and because the Republicans in Wisconsin thought they had a better chance of winning if people were afraid to come out to vote. But people weren't afraid to come out to vote. They did, and they had very good success. So we really need a voting system where everybody votes by mail-in ballot. Everybody gets a ballot in the mail to fill out and send back to the local voting office. I think that's the way to go. I think it's great. But we shall see what happens. A lot of states are doing that, mail-in ballots, like California, Michigan. And if your state does not have universal mail-in ballots for its citizens, you can call your representative in your state and say that's what you'd like to see. So that's something that is on the horizon. Okay, maybe it's time for a little music. little vocal music. So what I like to do is like to sing a song. It's called If I Had a Hammer, and I think this song was written by Peter, Paul, and Mary, a folk group from the 1960s. All right, here we go. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening all over this land. I'd hammer at a danger, I'd hammer at a warning, I'd hammer at a love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. If I had a bell to ring, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening all over this land. I'd ring it at a danger, I'd ring it at a warning, I'd ring it at a love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. If I had a song to sing, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening all over this land. I'd sing it at a danger, I'd sing it at a warning, I'd sing it at a love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Now I have a hammer, and I have a bell, and I have a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, it's the song about the love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. Okay, that's If I Had a Hammer, written by Peter, Paul, and Mary, and also sung and recorded and performed all over by Peter, Paul, and Mary in the 1960s. Hope you liked it. That's my song for today. I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in, for listening, and I hope you all stay safe. Take care of yourself, take care of others, and remember, kindness goes a long way. So take care of yourself, take care of others, and remember, there's an election coming up. Find out what you can about the election in your area, election on a federal and national level, on the state and the local level. Find out about the issues and the candidates. And remember, voting is very important. So, thank you. Hope to see you all back here again tomorrow evening for another session with Carol Ann Speaks, The State of Our World. Remember, kindness goes a long way. Thank you for listening. Hope to see you tomorrow. Good night.